Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Delving with Devin. So, at first look, it might look like we're playing Standard in 2014 with Mono Black Devotion, but we're actually playing Modern today with a little bit of a homebrew. I think ever since Mono Black Devotion was a thing in Standard, people had tried to port it over to Modern, and I don't think it's ever really picked up too much traction, but we're going to see what we can do with it today. So, why do we want to play Mono Black Devotion? The main reason is Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So this creature comes down, it drains our life equal to the number of black sources we have in play. So let's quickly go over the deck here. Our disruption, we have some hand disruption here, 4 Inquisitions, a Causal X, 2 Thoughtseizes, and we're going to be trying out these 4 Leyline of the Voids in the main deck. So right now in Modern, a lot of decks kind of incidentally use the graveyard, whether it's Snapcaster Mage, Kitchen Finxes, Voice of Resurgences, Collected Company has infinite combos. So this card has a lot of impact against most decks in the format. It can be 2 free Black Devotion in play off if it's in your opening hand, which can later on make for big drains with the Grey Merchant. So we're going to be trying it out. Our creature removal, we want to have as many permanent based creature removals as possible to add devotion. So 4 Liliana the Veil, 2 black when it's in play. You can have them sack a creature. You can also pressure their hands as well. So against combo decks or control decks, it's pretty good. Because we're mono black, we get to run Gatekeeper. So this is double black with a kicker of a 3rd black, and it forces an opponent to sack a creature. So that's good value. Have them sack, keep a body in play. It adds 2 black devotion, pretty much everything that we want it to be doing in this deck. And then we have 4 Victim of the Nights. So given our mana base, it's very easy to cast, and it basically kills any creature in the format, with a couple exceptions. Huntmaster of the Fells, Kalidas, Gurmag Angler can't kill, but luckily we have some other removal for those types of creatures. And unfortunately, cards like Swords to Plowshares, super efficient removal for 1 mana aren't legal in Modern, so we have 2 mana, basically kill anything. Moving along here, we have some card advantage. So 4 Phyrexian Arenas, these again add 2 black devotion, very hard to remove off the board once they're in play, and just kind of gives us card advantage throughout the course of the game. We've got 4 Pack Rats. So what Pack Rat allows us to do is run kind of narrow cards, or cards that aren't good to draw in the later game, like Leyline of the Voids. You don't really want to be drawing these beyond the opening hand. Excess lands you don't want to be drawing a lot of the times. So it kind of allows us to churn these extra cards that we're going to be drawing off the arena into threats, which is good. Then I'm running a Singleton Tombstalker. We don't really have any other way to abuse our own graveyard. So running a single Tombstalker, 5/5 flying is pretty hard to deal with. It's out of the range of Lightning Bolt, those sorts of things. It also adds 2 black devotion as well, so it's kind of playing to the same theme. I've already talked about the 4 Grey Merchants. And then the mana base, we have 22 black sources, so 21 swamps plus the Urborg, and then we're running a couple colorless utility lands. So 1 Nykthos, it's legendary. If we ever get a board state of like Leyline of the Void, Phyrexian Arena, Liliana, we're drawing so many cards, this can add so much extra mana, we can just kind of explode and kill the opponent. Only 2 Mutavaults. It combos with Pack Rat because it counts as a rat, so it pumps our Pack Rats. But we have so much black mana symbols in our deck, between like Victim of the Nights, double black, Gatekeepers, triple black if we want to kick it, double black on Liliana, double black on Phyrexian Arena. We just got so much black. I don't want to go with too many colorless lands. All this being said, Mutavault might not even be the right choice. You might want Ghost Quarter depending on what you're expecting. If you're expecting some Tron, maybe Ghost Quarter is a better land to be going with as your colorless lands. So moving over here to the sideboard, so we got 2 Leylines. So this kind of plays a similar role to Leyline of the Void. It's great when you have it in your opening hand against certain decks, like against Burn or against some combo decks. But in the late game when you draw it, you can always just discard it to Pack Rat, or it can be your discard to Liliana of the Veil. So it kind of serves that purpose. We've got 2 Wasteland Strangler. This is another good permanent source of creature removal. It sticks around to give you some devotion. It's also really good against Ancestral Visions. When their visions is about to come off, you can even just play it as a, cast it, eat their visions, -3/-3 itself. If they don't have a creature in play, it's still a 1/1 instead of getting 3/1, which is pretty good value. More hand disruption against combo. We can go up to 8 hand disruption spells post board against certain combo or control decks. And then we have 4 Fulminators. Again, double black, good for devotion count, also great against Tron or certain control decks, manlands, those sorts of things. 2 Piling Needle. Since we're mono black, we don't have a crazy selection of cyber cards, so oftentimes monocolor decks move to artifacts. But Piling Needle is great against like Artbang Ravager, Cranial Plating, Planeswalkers, those sorts of things. It's cheap to come down, so if we're drawing multiple cards a turn off Arena, you want to have some cheap cards to play. Just take advantage of it. We got 2 Ratchet Bombs. So these are good against like Zoo with a lot of 1-drop creatures. It's kind of sweeper effect against tokens. It's really good against. So we got 2 of those. And then against Burn, we also have a Staff of the Death Magus. So whenever a swamp or black card enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life. So we got lots of swamps, lots of black cards. It's going to be gaining us lots of life in the matchup where we want life gain. So there's the deck. It looks fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you guys in the first round.